Good morning, Mom. Hello, everyone. Hello, Linda. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Dan. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. All right, let me turn down the theme song. Welcome to Mob Coffee Clutch, episode 56. Wow, can't believe we've done 56 of these already. Jeez. Hello, Jeanette. Good morning. Very early morning for you, Jeanette. Hello, Melody. Hope you're feeling much better, Jeanette. You've been having like headaches and stuff happening, so I hope your health is doing much better. Good morning, Melody. Well, good morning from where I am, and good whatever it is from wherever you guys are right now. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see if I can pick this up in the room. Do a quick refresh. Craig El Dragon, how are you? I think I'm gonna stop calling you Dragon. I gotta call you the pun dragon at this point. Davina, good afternoon / good morning. Welcome. All right, let's see. I've got the feed in. Let me click on this. I can't. No, that's not what I wanted to click on. Click on this so I can see what people are saying. Audrey, hello, welcome. Let's go back. Hope you're all doing very well. Thank you for being here this morning to hang out and talk, have some coffee or tea, depending on what you drink. I'm taking a little while to make sure that it shows up with very little lag. I know there's always some lag, but it shows up with very little lag on the FB. And in the meantime, I'll be drinking some coffee. Hello, Heather. 2 years, Chris. Wow. Yeah, the theme song was done by William Musser. He's very good. He's kind of dropped off. He's had some personal issues he's going through. So once he resurfaces, I'll have him do some more stuff for. That's a theme song for Monty and Strong. It's a custom theme song. Hello, Sarah from Greece. Wow, welcome. I hope the sinusitis meds aren't making it too rough for you, Jeanette. Hope it's not too hard. Let's see. Hello, Malcolm. Welcome. Arthur's father was a pun driver. Oh my God! I can't believe I read past Arthur's father, Craig. That's horrible. Or Sprite or Coke Zero. It is a perfect theme song. It's really good. If you hear the whole thing, it's fantastic. I have maple bacon coffee. Alyssa, I've never tasted. I've tasted maple bacon, maple syrup. I've tasted bacon. I've tasted coffee. But I've never had quite that combination of all three. So I'm sure it's definitely an acquired taste, I want to say. You made it, Scarlett. Yay. You're here. Awesome. How do you hear the whole theme song? It's I think if you go onto YouTube, it's at the beginning of the intro on YouTube. And hello, everyone on YouTube. What I'll do is I'll put the whole theme song on the Mob Family after the episode. For those who haven't heard it, Malcolm. And just look for the post. I'll put out, because I know I had it on there, but if you go by even a week ago, we have so many posts in our group that it gets buried. But it's definitely on the YouTube channel. So if you go to the YouTube channel, Ben Peaches, Storyteller, you'll find it. And yeah, it's there. Chris and Dolly both say it's on YouTube. It's not, no, the coffee's not bad. Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, that the maple bacon coffee is like, it sounds like breakfast, basically. You could whine until I give it and post it, or you could just go to YouTube and listen to it. How's that? Yeah, it's long. It's a little longer than that, but Chris edited it a bit, so because then it would be too long on the intro. But it's a awesome. It's very dramatic. It starts off very melodic and very classical, and then it ramps up into awesomeness. No, Janelle, I would never say you guys are talkative. Not the mob. It's like I tell Dolly, I hardly ever speak, and she gives me this look like, really? See, my impression is I don't really speak that much. I mean, I speak to Dolly all the time, obviously. But in general, I don't really think I speak that much because most of my wording is, and notice I did this symbol, most of my wording is in the stories. But if I think about all the books that I've written, there's a lot of words in there. Yeah, so I guess I do speak a lot in that medium. So yes. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome. Jasmine B. Welcome. Quiet as mice. Yeah, very noisy, rambunctious mice, for sure. And I'm always, okay, Audrey, no one's ever going to convince me that I'm funny. I don't know how it happens in the books. And I don't really think it's funny per se. I think it's more like snark, sarcasm, wit, kind of tongue-in-cheek stuff. But actual outright funny, I'll never be convinced that I'm funny. And even though I've been told, yeah, you're funny, the books are funny, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm wordy talkative. Good afternoon, Tanya. Welcome. Welcome to the Mob Coffee Clutch. So the shirt I'm wearing today, if you notice our Wednesdays, our new old word Wednesdays is the grandiloquent word of the day. This is from their site. This shirt is from the grandiloquent word of the day site. So if you ever see the shirts that I wear and you want to know where you can get them, just send me a PM, and I always usually have the links, unless they're M&S swag, and then I just point you to the M&S store. Yeah, it's okay. Here's the thing. The humor that I do exhibit the most, I was discussing this with Dolly today. It's part of one of the questions. It's probably as a result of my upbringing with Monty Python, Fawlty Towers, Benny Hill, all that British humor, because it really was during my very, very formative years. And you mix that in with Warner Brothers and Bugs Bunny and all that kind of cartoonish humor, and you get this weird amalgam of a very strange sense of humor. Hello, Tina, welcome. I think so, Craig, that nearly all artists are critical of their chosen medium. That's what Craig said. I think it's true. Also, you are the worst person to like gauge your work. Like if you're a writer, you're the worst person to kind of say, is it good or is it bad? You're the worst judge of your own work. You can't, because you're too inside of it. It has to be looked at from outside in, not from inside out. So, and most authors can't really determine which book is going to be good, which book is going to be bad. I've heard authors say, oh, this is like the best book I've written, and it ends up not doing so well. And then they have other books that are like, yeah, I didn't really like that book, and that's the book that everybody loves. So we're the worst judge of our own work, for sure. It could be, Stacy, because I grew up with a lot of, okay, so a lot of you don't know my history, but I studied Hebrew, Aramaic. I had a lot of Jewish teachers growing up because there's a lot of religious study in my past, right? So that kind of humor is very where you get Ezra from. That kind of humor of like very, it's very sarcastic, but it's funny. Those are my old teachers being channeled. So yes. So there's a lot of sarcasm there too. The fish slapping dance is the greatest. Okay, Dan, you'll have to explain that to me. Yes, Scarlett, Benny Hill, I grew up with that. Yes, and I practiced the head slap. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I practiced the head slap on my siblings all the time from Benny Hill. Yeah, Ezra, I've been told, it's been asked, do I know some old Jewish people? Because the way Ezra is depicted is too on point. It's too accurate. And the way he speaks and the things he says and the way he says it, if you think it's too on point, for me, when I write Ezra, it's like I have an old Jewish scholar next to me as I'm writing, talking to me. So it's incredible. Yeah. So those are old teachers. These are really old teachers that were Jewish, that's the way they spoke. That's the way they acted. And they were dangerous, some of them. Like really like, whoa, you wouldn't want to mess with them. So, all right. I don't have my opener today. She's in school, but she has half a day today. So Big Z might be here in time for the closing, I'm hoping. We'll see. Dolly is also not here because she's picking up Z from school. But hopefully that should be here in time to do the closing. And we'll see. In the meantime, let's do the shout outs. So we're going to do shout out to everyone on YouTube. So if you haven't followed us on YouTube, please go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you get a notification of whenever we have our mob TV shows, right? Go to Instagram at Bitten Peaches. I've been really getting into B&M this week, so I haven't put many posts on Instagram, but I've been fairly regular there with the excerpts. Also, there's been stuff with Divine Intervention that I've been working on, and we have a new webpage coming up soon that Dolly's working on. So there's a lot of stuff in the background. So things to let you know, things are coming up. But go at Bitten Peaches and follow us on Instagram. Okay. ZAZZLE, Dolly's gonna get back into the swag of things, and so go to our M&S store on ZAZZLE, pick up some swag. We have I can't even tell you how many things we have on ZAZZLE at this point. There's so many. When I started the store, there were a few items because I didn't have much time. Dolly took over that store and blew it up, and it's like, wow, there's so many things that I go into the store like, I want one of this, I want this, I want to get this, I want to get this. It's so much, so it's amazing. So the winter swag should be coming for sure. My patrons on Patreon, I'm working on the short microfiction story for you guys. It should be dropping at the end of this month. So today is the 17th. So I figure the 30th, the 29th, 30th, around there, you should be getting that short story only for the Patreons or the patrons at Patreon. So if you're not on Patreon, you got to get on it to get that story. Hello, Ted. Welcome. The newsletter, the episode or the newsletter issue for this month, I'm looking at my other calendar, should be on the 21st. So I'm really pushing to make that happen. For some reason, I'm resisting putting out the newsletter, but I'm going to put it out there and kind of make it informative. And also, I've been revamping it a bit. So I don't want to just make it a newsletter, hey, get the book. I kind of want to also have things in there for people who aren't in the mob or who don't go on YouTube or Instagram, kind of something like, hey, this is what we're up to. This is what we're doing. This would interest you, that kind of thing. So not just make it a salesy newsletter, but more that many people on BookBub. Same thing with Binge Books. Join Binge Books and leave your reviews for the books, please. That would be awesome. It would be really helpful. And yeah, we definitely. I gave Dolly the logo for the Cafe Clash, the one that you see when I put up the events. So that's definitely going to be like on mugs, on T-shirts, everywhere, because she has a tendency to just go and blankets everything and hits all the kind of things. And then eventually, I think you can also, when you order your shirt, I think you can modify it too. So it's going to be awesome. I definitely want a Cafe Clutch Mob TV or Mob Cafe Clutch shirt, which would be awesome. Are the links to the sites in your Facebook's announcements? Which sites exactly, Alyssa? Yeah, I know, Tina, you don't have to be on Instagram or anything, but as long as you're here in the Mob TV, you'll find it. And if you want to, if you ever go to Instagram, you can find us at Bitten Peaches. For sure. It's okay, Jeanette. I know you might be behind in your reviewing, but you also have to deal with your health has to be first. I always tell all of you in the mob, your health, your family come first. Like sometimes I get really long apologetic letters when some people in the art can't edit, can't do the art, and I'm like, don't. You don't need to apologize for taking care of your family. Take care of your family. Take care of your health. There's always another art. So always. But I believe all the links, hello Yasmin, Alyssa, I believe all the links are pinned at the top of the mob group page. I know Joe put up a lot of stuff up there. Dolly put up a lot of stuff there. So take a look at the pinned post, Alyssa, and there should be some links that you can follow. I know the M&S link is there, the YouTube link is there, the Instagram link is there. So if there are any other links you need, send me a PM, and then I can get you the link. I know, Davina, you have to work around your health, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes people will, like the art especially will apologize because they can't shred a book. Like, don't worry about it. Take care of yourself, and then there's gonna be another book to shred, because when you have something that's chronic like what you have, Davina, you have to shape your life around whatever it is. It's just like also having pain. A lot of the mob is less young. I don't want to say old. We're less young. And so you wake up with pain. And what do? You don't stay in bed with the pain. You get up, you do what you got to do, and you work your day around that pain. And you just say, okay, today my shoulder's a little funky today. It's not going to do what it needs to do. Or my knee today is not working the way it wants to, the way it's supposed to. And you work around it, Good morning, Mary Beth. Welcome. I'm glad you were able to get FB to work, and you're here. B&M shredding should be next week sometime, at the end of next week. I'm aiming for the end of next week. So B&M shredding. So be ready for those of you who want to shred B&M. Bitten Peaches is on YouTube also. Yes, Bitten Peaches Storytelling, if I'm not mistaken. Chris can tell you more, but I'm pretty sure it's Bitten Peaches Storytelling. Scarlett's asking, okay, will Simon go on another date? Because the first went so well. I think it would be this is one of your questions, I guess I remember. But I think it would be contraindicated for Simon to go on another date that's not with Chi. And that's not going to happen because she's kind of busy right now with the Dark Council. But I can't see that Simon going on another date. I don't think he's that suicidal that he would want to risk his life that way. It's true, Davina, and what Davina pointed out is really important. You can't pour from an empty jug, which never stops us from trying. But the point is, you have to rest. You have to rest your brain. Many times I need to change gears, and that's why you'll see me. I'll jump on Destiny, kind of just to break up the immersion in the stories, and I need to do something else with my brain that doesn't require me to create something from nothing. So it breaks up that kind of taxing activity, which is what writing can be. Oh, let's see. Yasmin says, yes, if I put health first, though, sometimes I'm checking from the hospital again, but a day surgery. But at least you're here, and, you have to take care of your health. I always say, you guys, take care of your health. Amanda, welcome. Yes, Dan, the Monty and Strong Dating Agency, yes, that's not a novella, that's a death wish. And not the coffee either. Yeah, if you want to log on YouTube, you have to be, if you want to comment on YouTube, you have to be logged in. This is true. Yes, Sarah, so here's what's going to happen, just for those of you who are waiting. She's been kind of absent from the books. She's been kind of behind the scenes, right? They've been mentioning her. They've been mentioning the Dark Council. She's been mentioned. The council's been mentioned. Welcome, Elaine. And the duo or trio is definitely going to London for the next book, for Stormblood. And when they get back, there are things that are going to happen there that are going to be the catalyst for them getting together again when they come back from London. And whether or not that's a good thing, we'll find out. But after Stormblood, the book after that is called Revenant, and that's going to be an issue because of what they do in London has a ripple effect in New York. And then that's going to require Simon and Chi to get back together again. So it's only like a book away before we see her again. That's right, Davina. You haven't had... Davina says that she needs to show up, turn up so I can complain about her again. You haven't had her to complain about, so yeah. I might have to destroy the Tate again because every time I see pictures of it, because right now I'm doing research for places in London that need to go, and I need to speak because one of the 10 that you haven't seen is going to be in London, so there's more research there. So I might just, anytime I see pictures of the Tate, I think the only way to fix it is to demolish it. So they might have to revisit the Tate for sure. Because it's really, if you haven't seen the Tate Museum, it's an ugly building. Inside and out, I've been there. I went in there twice and I spent hours in there. The exhibits were interesting. The building was just ugly. I'm sorry. This is really ugly. And so when I was there, I thought the best thing you can do to this building is just tear it down and start again. Welcome, Benna. Welcome, Matthew. Good morning. So I might have to take it down. Yeah. Well, I don't know if she could psychically kill him, Malcolm. I don't know. I think he might be immune to that, but she could definitely try, you know? So you're welcome, Scarlett. All the books are pretty much outlined. It's just I have to get to them, and in the midst of getting to them, other books want to be written. Like even now, Montague and Strong, the series, is a departure from Sepia Blue, the series. It's just that Montague and Strong took off. But I was in the midst of Sepia Blue when I went off to the side and wrote Tomb Yards and Butterflies. And then it just said, everybody was like, you need to keep writing this. And poor Sepia was like, hey, what about my story? So I'm finishing Sepia this year. But I'm continuing with Montague and Strong. Another one of the 10. Yes, another one of the 10. Intriguing. Yes, Chris. Another one of the 10, because you haven't met all of the 10. So another one of the 10 is in London, well, not in London proper, kind of outside of London, and they need to meet with her. That's all I can say. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You'll have to read the story for the rest. Yeah, the Tate is like the New Alexandria Library. The New Alexandria Library does look like a big cheese grater. It has kind of I don't know what the architects were thinking with that design. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Google up the New Alexandria Library. It has for me, okay, remember that I studied architecture, and for me, buildings can be and are art, right? It has no character. It looks generic. It doesn't feel like a library. It doesn't feel like an homage to the old Alexandria Library, and it doesn't feel like a repository of knowledge. It just feels like some giant Silicon Valley building that works with computers or something. It doesn't feel like a library, you know? Let's see. No, Silk hasn't come back yet. Silk is still in the spiritual warrior world. So no. The gherkin. I don't know what it is that you guys have against the gherkin. I like the gherkin. I mean, yes, it looks like a stretched out egg, but I like the gherkin. I'd sooner destroy that walkie-talkie building that melts cars and plastic than the gherkin. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll put it up for a poll. Which landmark? No, not landmark, because I'm leaving the Tower of London and most of the landmarks alone. But which of the new buildings along like Bank Street or the Thames should be renovated? I don't want to say destroyed. Renovated. Linda, we had the newest red shirt. It was Kathy Jarman. She had a glorious demise in divine intervention. She now needs to come up with a question for the next red shirt. So it's only through M&S books, so she has a little bit of time to come up with a question. Let's see. Maybe that's so the trio don't think it's a good place to do research. It's safer if people don't think of it as I guess, Davina, but it doesn't look that great, the New Alexandria Library. I have to check out the Batman building in the Nashville, Tennessee. Does it look like a Batman building, like a Batcave? Yeah. No, you have to get, Luna is not the one you get to meet, Jeanette, no. So there's 10 of the 10. Some of the 10 haven't been named yet. Yeah, Elaine, I like the gherkin. It's a kind of creative, different looking building. I mean, it really kind of stands out. I don't think there are many oval, egg-shaped buildings in the world like that. So, good morning, Wendy. Welcome. Glad that you're here. Glad you were able to make it. So, I don't intend... Okay, here's my intention. I don't intend for the duo/trio to go on a rampage destroying everything, because the Penumbra Consortium is after them if they step foot in London. But I will give you a quick trailer teaser. They're not going to be able to teleport in because London is on lockdown. They actually have to fly in and land at Heathrow. So you can imagine how much fun that's going to be. Oh yeah, they can always walk up to the MI6 building, but they're gonna walk up to the building that's gonna be like the new headquarters for Penumbra, and that's gonna be, they're gonna walk by it, and that's gonna set off all kinds of alarms. So that'll be fun. Yeah, they're gonna fly in, Jeanette. They're not teleporting in. They're flying in, and we remember last time Simon flew anywhere, how well that worked out. The egg in Albany, I've never seen. I have to now I've got to check it out. And welcome, Paige, and welcome, John. Good morning. They could meet a certain suave secret agent. Nah, they're not gonna meet any suave secret agents. That's so not their world. No destruction of private planes. Renee would lose her mind. Yeah, that would not be good. No, that's she'd actively try to kill them. No. Yes, they're going to fly domestic. I have to see if I can use. So I have to be careful if I'm going to use something like British Airways or something like that. So, or maybe they'll have to. We'll see if I can get a private plane that can make that trip, because it is a long trip from New York to London. So I don't know if a private plane can make that. So they might have to fly domestic. Maybe first class. Maybe we'll see business class. We'll see. But it will be fun because that's not what they're used to, especially not Monty. So he's like, why can't we just teleport there? And Simon, and it's like, no, it's locked down. And Simon is secretly happy because he won't have to suffer too much digestive destruction. But at the same time, they're flying domestic, which could be a problem if anybody wants to attack them. So, yeah. Does Sunatra, that would be, see, I never considered Cecil doing planes. So maybe that's an idea. If Sunatra can do a plane, like have a special plane. But then, that's going to be, it's because it's very different from a car. Cecil's going to be really touchy about letting those 3 on a plane of his, But it would make sense if he provides cars, that he would provide other forms of transportation, like boats and planes and so forth and so on. So that's an idea too, to have a Sunatra plane and make it like a very big event kind of deal, like Cecil's never let us on a plane. How's he letting us on a plane kind of thing, So that might be the way to go. Or make them have the Sunatra plane, have something go wrong, and then they have to go domestic, and that would be insane. Yeah. Because you can't have Peaches next to you on a domestic flight, right? And also, we don't know the actual density of a hellhound. Is he gonna be too heavy? Things like there's a lot of considerations, So he's gonna have to be like an emotional support animal, right, Davina? An emotional support animal, and then it's gonna be Peaches. So like, that's your emotional support animal? So there's so much potential for fun in just that, getting them to London. It's gonna be awesome. And then there's the coffee that they're gonna give you, and the tea is gonna be horrible. So there's just so much stuff that can happen just getting to London. Basically, Chris, yeah, he's like Neutron Star Dance. He's not the typical creature. So how much does a hellhound weigh? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out how he would weigh. Is he gonna make himself lighter even though he's a certain size? Is he gonna make himself heavier because he gets hungry or something and throw off the weight of the plane? Like things like that. Yeah, exactly, John. They might have to connect with a military flight and bring in, like, there's a C-130 on the tarmac, and they can just like piggyback a ride with them, Yes, Elaine, Simon does need a lot of support. He's having a rough moment because of the world that he's thrust into, and yes, he has adjusted a bit, but it's still a lot to take in and process. Coffee that you buy and cannot drink. Oh yeah, this is true. So who else besides TK and LD? I don't know. I have to look over the list. There's a bunch. If you look in the stories, there's at least 7 that have been, I think 7 that have been named that are out there. Ask Jeanette. She's like our resident wiki, so she would know. Yeah. I think you'll need the military plane to get home from London because, yeah, we'll see. Because what happens in Stormblood directly impacts what happens in Revenant. So now the stories are river novels, which means that they run into another. So Requiem has impacted Divine Intervention. Divine Intervention is impacting Stormblood, and so forth and so on, up until Archmage, which is like book 20. So they're all going to be like boom, 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 boom. So they're going to be kind of standalone, but also concurrent stories. More so than before. Dex Airways. Yeah, you don't want to fly Dex Airways. It does give coffee a bad name. Like right now I'm drinking my Death Wish that Dolly made for me, and it's like awesome, you know? Let's see, Harney and Sons tea. I'm gonna read the comments because the feed is going fast. You just made my case for Werpetingers. Yeah, that creature is just so bizarre, Scarlet. I don't think I can write a story around it. It's amazing. Alyssa says we love Harney and Sons tea. Love that shout out. I have a bourbon black tea from them. Oh, awesome, fantastic. I don't drink tea anymore because I'm so into coffee. But when I used to drink tea, I used to drink all kinds of tea. Let's see. Chris is gonna fly the C-130 and go. Then we can fly with him. Yeah. So Jeanette says there's 7 of the 10 that are named. So the 3 that are not named will remain unnamed until they're named. How's that, guys? I think Extra Small Peaches is Harry the Dirty. I don't know about that. They may get teleported out of London against their will. We'll see what happens. It's hard because Simon doesn't have that bad of a reaction to teleports now, but also Monty's pretty strong, so you can't just force him out. So we'll see. Drinking black magic. Is that coffee, Chris? Oh yeah, for Dex, there's nowhere he can't teleport to. So remember that he was even able to teleport into Ezra's back room or basement. Dex is on a different level completely. So yeah, there's nowhere he can't go. Like one way to work it would be to have Dex be in London, and that would be great to kind of reintroduce Nana, who's been kind of dead but not dead, and then have Dex teleport them out of London. So we'll see. We have Chris Mendoza, LD, TK, Renee, Reese, Luna, Jono. Yeah, so there's a few that we have not. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so there's 3 more that haven't been revealed. So 1 more is going to be revealed in Stormblood, and the other 2 you'll see them later on. But Dex has a relationship with Ezra or Exra. Nana I like Nana. She is probably as strong, if not stronger than Dex. That's how scary Nana is. RC, wanted to say thank you for everything that you've done, RC, and go have a great workout. Stay healthy. Renee, haven't seen you in so long on this. But Nana will be. See, Nana is like, okay, yeah. If you wanted to have a counterpart to Dex, Nana would be the counterpart to Dex. Like she's the one that could put Dex in check, and Dex would like listen. Aside from the Morian, right? Oh yeah, Ezra. I don't think Dex and Ezra have. Well, they do have a relationship, but it's a different kind of relationship. Remember when he was the Harbinger? He was known as the Harbinger of Death, and they worked very closely together. But that's not something we want to explore for a few more books later on. Yeah, yes, Jeanette, old magic. That's why, and I wouldn't mess with Nana at all. Welcome, Renee. Thanks for being here. It's awesome that you made it. We all need a Nana, sometimes to smack us upside the head, and sometimes just to drop some knowledge on us and wisdom, and to kind of set us straight. There's Nanas don't take guff, as they say. Yeah, it could definitely happen, because when he goes to London, Nana will call him to task for what's happening with Simon. The same way she has kind of tasked, what's happening with Monty. The same way she's tasked Simon to be Monty's shield bearer kind of thing, it's more with Dex because he's family, he's Monty's uncle. And so she's really going to give him a talking to. So that should be fun. Because Nana, you don't mess with Nana. Put it this way, they leave her alone. That's how dangerous she is. No, she's not Dex's mom. Nana is Nana because that's what she's called, but that's not, she's not related that way. But she could definitely mom voice Dex easily. Easily. It's not even an issue. And Dex will just be like, can't even say a word. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But for that to happen, I got to write Sepia Demon and Bangers and Mash. I'm working on the next Night Warden story, which is going to be a lot of fun, which is Nocturne Melody. And I got to fit in some knack action in there, because the knack coalition, because there's an inside man, woman from the knack coalition that I live with, the leader of the knack. And she's like, hello, Nixia. And so that's got to get done too. So there's a lot happening before Stormblood gets actually done. Yeah, well, see, Simon's in trouble for not finding out with a shield. He should have read the fine print, for sure. Because now Kali kind of switched it up on him and made it worse. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Davina. That kind of voice where your body just reacts, you just hear the tone. You don't even hear the words, but you hear the tone, and your body like Pavlovian responses kick in. It's like, whoa, that kind of thing, yeah. So yeah, Jeanette, they're working on cloning me. We'll see. Okay, so you know how Dex reacts around the Morrigan, but not the Morrigan, but the Babcatha, the scary version of the Morrigan. You take that, extrapolate it even further, and that would be Dex reacting to Nana, because she's just that scary powerful. And so, plus the position that she holds within their lives is one of real respect. And so, and Dex is really big on the family, and respect the family, respect your elders. And so he's not going to cross that line. So yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun, because I like Nana as a character. She hasn't had much in the stories. We haven't seen her much, so it'll be fun to bring her back for that story. Yeah, Davina, see, you make a clone of me, the clone has to go through all my life experiences to come out exactly like me. So all you basically have is a copy that doesn't have all the background. So it's just a clone, but it doesn't have what makes the me. Yes. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Nana's going to have the look. How could you be a Nana without the look? It wouldn't work. The look is important. The look that stops everyone in the tracks, for sure. It's become Wendy, it's become a Nana conversation. So I'll give you a little bit more of that, and then we're gonna move on to other topics, because I don't want to spoil Stormblood. The member of the 10 that gets revealed in Stormblood is a healer / witch, which we haven't had witches in the Monty and Strong world. We've had mages, we've had sorcerers, we've had all kinds of, but we never had a witch. So I'm going to be doing extensive research on witches and healers, because they're kind of, in this context, they're two sides of the same coin, right? And that member of the 10 kind of lives in isolation because of her ability, and because she basically is kind of slightly antisocial. And so, but she's going to be kind of the introduction to witchcraft and that kind of discipline. So it's a lot of nature, a lot of using materials and things like that, a lot of mixing closer to druidic things. So there's a lot of research that goes into that as well. Have we had the cover of Stormblood? That's a good question, Malcolm. I don't think so. Maybe not. I'll have to look it up. I know I have it, but I don't think I've shown it to. I try not to go more than one cover ahead on books, because usually by the time the mob sees it, they'll forget it anyway. So what I do is I usually show one cover ahead. But I have all the covers up until, I want to say book 24, 25, something like that. I keep the Range Doctor design busy. Put it that way. Yeah, all the 10 are antisocial. John, I got to look into which one it's going to be. Yeah, see, that's part of the research. Which Wiccan, so I'm going to be speaking to people who practice these disciplines and really can educate me on that, because I want to make sure it's represented. I don't want to do stereotypes. I want to make sure it's as close to being authentic as I can. So it's going to take a little bit of research. Yeah. Oh, Jeanette wants to know, are we going to get some more of the definitions for mage versus sorcerer? Yes, all the disciplines will be eventually kind of broken down and explained. Yeah. James Ratbag Noble. Oh, see, there you go. The look. Because that's all it takes. Yes, Mark, but it takes time. I don't want to just say it's this, and this. It has to be, if you've read the Monty Strong series, you know that all the stuff eventually gets explained, but it also takes time. It also comes out over time. Thank you, Wendy. I definitely will, and I already have one person, so as many people as I can it'll be awesome to get conversations. Yeah, they're up. I believe the Stormblood and Revenant are up, so you can see them. Yeah, if the look is, yeah, soon, TM, Mark. There you go. But not the normal tropes. Right, exactly, Chris. Not the normal ones. And remember that she's a member of the 10, so she's got to be able to hold her own with the 10. So in this context, if the 10 needed a medic of sorts, this character would be that person, the one that would patch them up or keep them alive when needed. So we'll see, definitely. But it's going to be fun doing the research too. All right, let me give you the updates, because what time is it? Oh, we got like a good half hour. And we got to get to the questions. All right, so Requiem is going to be at the end of October. I already got the 15 minutes back. Kevin is amazing. So I heard like a good 5-10 minutes of it, and I already approve it because he's just so good as a narrator. So he's working on that. I got the 15 minutes. They're approved. It goes back to him. He does the whole thing, or he already has the whole thing. But once he gets the approval, he can move on to produce the entire thing. So end of October, Requiem should be out. Divine Intervention, is out there. Don't forget to leave your review if you haven't, and enjoy. I got copies. I always order my library copy. So Divine Intervention, yay! Okay. The covers always look great. I always marvel at when I get the actual book and I'm looking at it like, wow, that looks pretty awesome. All right, the Range Doctor Design. If you need covers, they're the ones. Bangers and Mash. The art should be in about a week. So we're looking at the 24th that weekend. Hopefully I'll get it done earlier, but here's the thing with Bangers and Mash. It's so fun to write that I have to make sure not to put everything in the kitchen sink in there, because it can go a little too far into the slapstick, and I gotta kind of keep one vein of seriousness in there. So it's a fine line to walk with that story, because I could easily devolve into just a parody of Monty Strong. I'm trying not to. It is a parody of Monty Strong in a sense, but they're also their own characters with more of a humorous bent to it. So not that I do funny, but more of a humorous bent. Let's see. End of October, I know, Jeanette. It was not out of my control. Kevin had to push it back, and so we allowed him the flexibility to do so because he's been so amazing, Let's see. Have you given thought to a name, or do you see her image? Yes, both, Scarlett, but I can't reveal either yet. Maybe we should all work together with the chef. I don't know what that means, Stacy, but it sounds dangerous. She needs the Star Trek doc quote. We'll see. I mean, Bones had, I'm a doctor, not a whatever, Jim, so we'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Where's Roxanne when it comes to the 10? Roxanne is not in the 10. Roxanne is completely separate from the 10. So, and I don't know what the question means, Dan. Like, where's Roxanne in terms of power? The 10 are extremely dangerous. Even Dex, if you remember Divine Intervention, Dex alludes to the fact that unless the world is ending, don't call in the 10 because they're going to be bored. So that's how strong they are. Cynthia said, hi, Cynthia, welcome. Looked on par with Hispanic Mama and the Zapatos. Yes, the chancla, the famous chancla. That's the same look. Yeah. The one is like the look that says, wait till we get home. You just wait. Yeah. Healer is always interesting. The person that knows how to put you back together knows how to split you apart. Exactly, Malcolm. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Yes, hoodoo is important, and this person will have knowledge of several disciplines of healing and cursing, because they kind of do work together, right? So yes, she's gonna have that kind of knowledge, which is why she's in the 10, and which is why people would not want to mess with her. Also why she prefers to live in isolation, in nature, away from people. It's just safer for everyone that way. You don't piss off the healer. You really don't. Thank you, Jeanette. Yeah, the paperbacks came out great. I was still waiting for the Nixia paperback. You got it before I did. I'm waiting because that one's pretty thick. So I'm waiting for that's probably the thickest book I've written, only because it's several stories together. So I'm waiting for that one. It's on its way. John says, what? Not write like JPL? I wrote with JPL. We wrote books together. Are you kidding me? We have very different writing styles. He's hilarious, but we have very different writing styles and very different senses of humor. So I couldn't write like JPL even if I wanted to, because we're so different in terms of our sense of humor. But when we write well together, when we write stories, we write them together. Yeah, they're fun. Graham says, and welcome Graham. When are the films coming out, and who would you want to play Simon Monty? Whenever Amazon or Netflix or any of the big studios contacts me, that's when the films are coming out, and we have it so it's done right. Who would I want to play Simon? I've already said I would rather have Ryan Reynolds play Simon, and either Tom Hiddleston as Monty or Benedict Cumberbatch as Monty. So that would be awesome. That would be a great combo. I think they would play well off each other. Davina says, I always like it when healing magic hurts the undead. Yeah, healing, that's a good kind of counter to things like that. Let's see, hold on, let me scroll down because you guys are talking so quick. Jewish moms just say, I'm very disappointed in you, and that is like a dagger to the heart, Stacy. It's because of the way they say it. Chris, yes, chapter 34. Like I said, I've written with JPL, John Logsdon, for those who don't know who JPL, I always call him JL. But John and I have written 3 books together, and from what I understand, they're funny. So there you go. So the humor is there. It just has to be channeled. I think that casting works. If I could get Ryan Reynolds as Simon and Benedict Cumberbatch as Monty, because he plays a great Doctor Strange, so it's already kind of pre-cast. When you think about it, they would be awesome in a movie together. And then just get a huge hellhound. I don't know who we'd have to get a CGI hellhound, obviously. Yeah. Because I can never call him Cumberbatch. It's just such a strange name. It just flows into Cumberbatch, Scarlet. So definitely. Tom is good, but he's so typecast as Loki, it's hard to see him as anyone else. Like, welcome Cindy. I can't imagine the difficulty Tom Hiddleston's gonna have when he wants to do something that's not Marvel related. See, the good thing about Benedict, that he's been able to do Sherlock Holmes. He's been able to do Alan Turing. He's been able to do so many different roles because he hasn't gotten so deep into that one character of Doctor Strange. So he has the ability to do other characters, and he doesn't seem to be typecast yet. You see Tom Hiddleston, for the last, I don't know how many years, he's got the same issue that Hugh Jackman has. Everyone sees Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and he's an incredibly talented actor, singer, dancer. He's done Broadway, but everyone sees him as Wolverine. That's just the way it is, you know? And everyone sees Tom Hiddleston as Loki, and he's done many other things, but Loki is what he's been almost, I wouldn't say precisely, but almost typecast as. Liam, so wait, let me read. Did you see the scary movie he was in? Who? Which movie? And who is this person? Liam Neeson as Dex. Nah, he's too young. More like Ian McShane as Dex would be better. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Davina. You could say Benadryl candle batch, and everybody knows what you're talking about because it's the same one. Oh my God, we got 20 minutes left. Thank you, Chris. Okay, let's get to the questions. I'm not going to be able to read the feed because it's going to be on the phone. Crimson Peak, I'll have to check. But I have to go to the questions now. We got 20 minutes, and I want to answer the questions. Okay, so here we go. So the feed, I can still see it, but it won't be. I won't be able to react to it as quickly. Okay, here we go. Malcolm's first question. Malcolm Robertson says, "Will we ever see Georgina again?" Yes, we will. Her and Yuma, I want to say Yama, the mountain. They're in the background. Remember that she needed to get away, but yes, she's not gone completely. She's just in the background. She will be back. So yes, Malcolm. The answer to that question, Malcolm, is yes, we will. She comes back probably around book 17, which is blood lessons, because of her condition with blood. If you remember, she's allergic to, she's kind of an allergic vampire, put it that way. So the name of the book is Blood Lessons, which is after Revenant, and she'll come back then. Okay, next question. Audrey asked several questions. Orlando, all of your characters are great, but if only one could be your friend, who would it be and why? I can't even answer that, Audrey. If only one. That's like asking which is your favorite child. Oof. It's hard. Only because I've been researching him for his next book, I would have to say Gray, because Gray is very close to. I relate a lot to Gray, so I would have to say Gray. Yeah. Dolly, is there one of Orlando's characters that reminds you of him? So I asked her before she left to pick up Z, and she said that I'm a combination of a whole bunch of characters. So there's no one character. She said I'm like serious like Gray, but I could be like Monty when she tells a joke, like very dry. I could be like Simon with the coffee. So she said I'm kind of like a combination of all the characters. All right. Audrey, again, third question. If you could go back in time to when you decided to write on a full-time basis, what is one piece of advice that you would give yourself? The advice that I actually took is to write no matter what, even if you don't get paid for it. Write with passion, which is basically what I do now anyway. So, yeah, that's unfortunately a lot of authors get into writing thinking they're going to hit it big, they're going to strike, they're going to be retired. If you don't pursue something for the love of it, then you're going to be disappointed, especially with something like writing, because it takes a while before you can actually make any money writing. It does. It takes a long time. And even then, even let's say you don't make any money, you should still want to write. Welcome, Cindy. Okay, let's go on. Thank you, Audrey, for the great questions. It's awesome questions. Guys got to step up that game. Cynthia asks, how are the Valkyries readjusting to physically going to school? In the beginning, like last week, they were having a tough time getting up, but now they've transitioned so well into getting up early, going to school, being there. Our main concern is the youngest Valkyrie, because she's 10, so she hasn't been vaccinated yet. So I'm like, wear your mask at all times, period. So she's always wearing her mask. But the other two, because there's the warrior and then the two Valkyries, they're transitioning well to getting up early, which is the hardest part for them before. But now it's really like, pretty awesome. So thank you for that question. Morna just said more peaches and more critters, maybe for space. Okay. I don't know what that means, Morna, but if you want to PM me and clarify, okay. Scarlett says, have you considered my Werpetinger? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Are there any more Nixian Acheron adventures in the future? Yes. There's a whole series coming out because the Knack, the leader of the Knack, lives with me and occasionally nudges and say, Nixia. And how is Iker doing? Iker's doing well. His short story was exactly a short story. He's going to appear later on. More in the Monty and Strong series because that's where he's from in that world. So he'll appear there. And will Simon go? This is another extension of will Simon go on another date? It's been a long time, and it will continue being a long time because he likes to stay alive. So yes, to answer your question, Scarlett, there will be full-length novels series of the Darken series, the Darken stories with Nixia and Acheron. So yes, and those are the questions. Wow. Okay, so if you have any questions, this is the time to ask. Let me see. I like that, Davina. When someone asks your favorite child, you're supposed to pick one of yours. Oh, there you go. So, okay, I will put up the, so Malcolm, is it Malcolm who's asking? Mark, I will put up the cover to Stormblood after the episode, after the Catholic Clutch is done. I'll put up Stormblood. I can never say I have a favorite child. All my children are different and distinct, and each have qualities that make me want to squeeze them with love and strangle them with frustration at times. So they all have equal amounts of qualities. So they're all, in my eyes, they're all even. They all have amazing qualities. So yes, Stacy, I'm sorry you have to go, but thank you so much for being here, and I hope everything's okay down south and that you've recovered okay. There's another storm, Nicholas, down there. Be careful, okay? Oh, how are the reviews on Divine Intervention? I don't know. I have to check. I have to admit I've gotten lax with looking at reviews. Welcome, Gina. Because I don't... So this is funny that you say that, Chris, because even today, this morning, I was looking at the reviews on tomb yards and butterflies. And there are a lot. It was like... And I was looking at them with Dolly, and it's like, yeah, for some people it's great. For some people they can't stand it, and that's just the way it is, you know? So, yeah. I'm getting a fine feed over here. I haven't broken up, so please check on your end. Yeah, that's kind of my relationship with my kids. I squeeze them with love, strangle them with frustration, and sometimes they can't tell the difference. And I'm like, no, this is a love squeeze. Come here, you know. So, yeah, I think. Let me see if I have anything else. Okay, yeah. So the Nixia and box set is out finally. So go grab it because it's out there. It's paperback. I very rarely do that with ebooks, but because Alita the Knack lives with me, she was like, yeah, this needs to be a box set. And so it's a box set. Sepia Demon is next, so I kind of have to reread Nameless because for some reason there are little details that don't stick in my head with Sepia, and because I'm getting to the end. So I have to reread Nameless, kind of get it down, and then it'll be out like towards the end of October. So that's going to be good. And then I'll make sure you guys, for the patrons, I'll make sure you get your Patreon story at the end of this month. Let's see what else. Oh, miscellaneous. For any of the aspiring authors or authors that are here in the mob, look up something called Amazon A+ content and see if you can qualify for that and kind of spruce up your product page. So Amazon A+ content. I don't know if it's being offered to everyone, but I have seen it around and I have seen it advertised in other places that are not Amazon. So look up and see if you can get into that, and it makes your page look awesome. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, we got 10 minutes, yay! All right, we can hang out even more. Yeah, Tubers and Butterflies. Okay, I'm gonna check real quick. I don't usually check reviews because I don't, but it's at like $8.94, so it's really good. And what surprised me is Requiem. Requiem shot up to 8. It has almost as many reviews as Tomb Yards, which I still can't explain that. So I don't know how that happens. So all I can say is thank you to you guys, because you guys are the engine that makes all that stuff happen. So thank you. Wendy wants to know, can I ask them out for their scary stories, real, fictional, or fine? Please just put it out and put it in the group, Wendy, and you can ask. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of scary stories. Dan asks, is Gan going to kick some ass? Yes, Gan is going to kick some serious ass in Demon, for sure. Yes, Benna, we need more Benna. There's a whole series planned called Freelancers, which is set around the Damned. It's an offshoot of Damned, and they're called Freelancers. And I actually have the cover ready and everything, but I just got to get to it. That's why you're seeing more of Ursula, because in Ursula's orbit, the Freelancers are directly connected to Ursula and the Damned. And so there's like 3 books planned out with the Freelancers, which is what Benno runs. So it's gonna be awesome. Does it really, Jeanette? I'm glad the box set looks good. I always worry about how box sets look because it's a combination of so many books together. But then, is it thick enough? Is it, how the cover work and things like that? So yes. Let's see what else. I have a theory that if you don't at least occasionally want to kill them, then you don't really love them. Because if you care that much, they drive you crazy. My kids, amazingly, they don't drive me that crazy. They drive Dottie crazy sometimes, but you know, she loves them as much as, you know, as they frustrate her. So, but we love them. It's just sometimes we do want to strangle them, but we love them very much. I like tomb yards. You know, it's interesting. As I was saying, and we got like about 5 minutes, so we'll relax on this a little. As I was saying, I was reading the reviews on tomb yards, and it was interesting because they were so polarizing. Some were like, you're either gonna really love this or you're gonna really hate it, or this is a really great writing or it's really horrible writing. And this is what I always tell authors in the beginning: you need to have rhino skin, meaning you can't take any review personally because it's a person's opinion, and so you have to read it, you know. And if it's something that's related to the actual structure of the book, maybe should look at it. But if it's an opinion of how the story impacted a person, it's an objective thing. And it's a subjective thing. Art is subjective. So they either liked it or not. They're either your people or they aren't, and you can't take that personally. And so you just roll with it. But it's fun to read the reviews of a book that was like the first book of the series and so long ago. And you know, the writing has changed over time. And it's amazing to see the polarizing opinions, how it goes from I really love this to I can't stand it, I can't even remember the characters after I read the story. I was like, wow, it's incredible to see that whole spectrum. It's fun. I think every author should do that every so often. But don't get too hung up on reviews because they're not yours. In other words, they don't belong to you. This is what people believe of your work, but you can't let it impact you in the terms of should you keep writing. You can't, because those are people's opinions. It doesn't mean that this is what it is or it isn't. It's what it is for them. And you're not going to be able to write for everyone. No one writer can write for everyone. You just find your tribe, you find your group, you find your mob, you know? Yeah, and that's true, Paige. The number of reviews is fluid because every so often Amazon calls reviews and removes them. And there's nothing you can do about that one. So you roll with it, you know? Okay, on YouTube, Logan Graves. So Karma, when is she making a reappearance? She just made an appearance in Divine Intervention. So yeah, Karma has to be used sparingly because she's such a large force. So there've been a few books where you haven't seen her, and then she made a reappearance in Divine Intervention. I don't know if she'll appear in Stormblood because I just don't know if the story will take it to there. But when she appears, there's a reason for it. It's also milestones in Simon's progress. Hope that answers your question, Logan. Calling Professor Ziller, you are needed stats to give Orlando extra time. I don't need extra timelines. Jeez, you know how many timelines I have? It's crazy. Yeah. Here's what I do. I read reviews up to 50 reviews because this is what I hear. This doesn't mean that it's true or not. This is what I hear. At 50 reviews, Amazon starts to push your book. At 100 reviews, Amazon shows your book even more. So I usually push people to review up until I see 100 reviews on a book, right? And then after that, I really don't read reviews much more after 100 because it gets to be a lot. Even 100 is a lot of reviews to read, and I want to be able to write. So, but 100 reviews kind of sets the benchmark. Hello, Malcolm. Oh, Malcolm is here. So 100 reviews sets the benchmark in a way. But after that, I review every so often. I'll go back and read, but I don't really pay too much attention to reviews as a motivator to write. That's not what motivates me to write, because I learned early on, not everyone is going to like, I'm not going to be for everyone. And I've read reviews on amazing authors and they get 1 and 2 star reviews. So you can't write for everyone, you know? Yeah. Oh, timelines to write in. Yeah, I need to do one of these variant things that Loki has and just create different timelines. Tina says Karma seems to want to give Dex space. A lot of people give Dex space. Not so much. Here's the thing about Dex. It's not so much that he's dangerous. He is dangerous. It's the potentiality of Dex, and the fact that he's also together with the Morrigan that makes him even more of a force to be reckoned with. You know? So it's like Simon is dangerous, Peaches is dangerous, but Simon and Peaches together are really dangerous. Yeah, we got 5 minutes. I'm looking, Chris. It goes by so fast. In the beginning, it's like so slow, and then it just races by, and before I know it, time is up. So it's a combination of what Dex knows, what he can do, what he's capable of, combined with the fact that he's with the Morrigan, which makes him scarier. So it's like when you were a little kid and you said, and you were getting, if you ever got bullied, and you said, I'm going to bring my big brother. Everyone left you alone because your big brother was really dangerous. That kind of thing. Yeah. You know, it's like that. So Dex is scary. Even Carmen was like, yeah, you know what? No, I don't feel like visiting over there right now. So she's not scared of him because Carmen has no reason to be scared of anyone. But she's also wise in the sense of what she... Because understand that every action she takes, you know the saying, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action that she takes with Simon has ripples and reactions. Like when she complained, you're giving me a ton of paperwork, because when she helps Simon or advises Simon or nudges him, it creates ripples everywhere. So this is why she tries not to help him so much. Or she says, I'm not here to help you. And Simon is learning as time progresses that her role in his life is shifting, it's changing, you know? Yes, and it says something that Dex isn't in the 10. So think about that one statement. That the 10 is really dangerous and Dex is too dangerous to be in the 10. That's like, yeah, Jenna, exactly. And I'm the same way. I have many authors that I read when I can read, and it's because I resonate with the stories. That's why I have so many authors that I can read, you know? Yeah, Davina, he's an adorable heck puppy. Sure, Right, exactly, Malcolm. Dex is also insane, so no one knows what he will do, not just what he can do. Right, he may react in a way that's completely opposite to what people expect, and that's what makes him dangerous, because he's not predictable. Yeah, exactly, Dan. Well, yeah, Janab had the same thing. Like some authors I can't get into. Sometimes there's a book an author writes I can't get into. Look, for example, Jim Butcher. I love the Dresden Files. I can't get into Codex Alera. I don't know why. I tried it and I couldn't get into it. Dresden, forget. I devoured all those books. I read them more than once. Codex Alera. Ayrton, hello. Audrey, thank you so much for the questions and being here. We gotta leave soon. We're leaving soon, so thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your weekend and be safe. Okay. Bye, Audrey. Yeah, Peaches isn't dangerous, right? I agree, Chris. I think it's, and some stories impact you at certain parts, in certain times in your life, and they resonate, and that's just the way it is. Exactly, Alyssa. I can get into Dresden. Even the TV show I liked, and it was I tried Codex Alera. I really did. I tried to give it a go. I couldn't. Written by the same author, different story. I couldn't. And I hear it's really good. There are people who are like, that story's fantastic. I'm like, okay, but it's not for me. So that doesn't mean that Jim Butcher's a bad writer or a bad author. It just means that story doesn't resonate with me, or those characters don't resonate with me, or that setting doesn't. Whereas Dresden does. It's this way. Bye, Cindy. Have a great rest of the day. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, guys, because it is time. So if you have a chance, you know me, I'm harping on it. I'm always gonna harp on it. If you have a chance to get vaccinated, please do. Delta's still out there. Wear your mask. Social distance. Take every precaution you can to be safe. I don't know if there are other variants coming out. I know in this country, the Delta variant is moving slowly up to the northeast. So we haven't really gotten hit hard yet, but the rest of the country is on fire from the Delta variant. Hopefully it doesn't proceed. But I know the U.S. isn't the only country alone in this. Other countries are also experiencing resurgence in cases and hospitalizations and things like that. So please get your jabs, or get your vaccines, get both of them, wear your mask, and social distance. If you don't have to go to a crowded place, just don't go. Keep yourself safe. There are a lot of a lot of cases that are pediatric now because of what's happening with kids going back to school and they can't get the vaccine. So just be safe. If your home is covered, there's less of a chance of your child getting sick if you have a little one. Okay, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. So these are my opinions. You're welcome to have your own. If you don't want to get the job, then mask up and social distance. Like, just be safe for you and be safe for the people around you and in your life and your family. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. If you're in Texas, be safe, because I know Hurricane Nicholas was down there and you guys Got some serious rain and flooding. And wherever you are in the world, be safe. Have a wonderful weekend. And above all, be uncommon. Thank you for being here, guys. I'll see you. I'll see you in the room. And our next mob is on the 1st of October. So it'll be awesome. We'll be getting ready for Halloween. Bye, guys.